Hello. How are you doing? Oh, the reason we have these long starting soon screens is to give people a chance to get here. How you doing, Longstocks? Hello, Sparky. Hello, Longstocks. I'm almost here. Close. Open. Share. Copy. Yeet. I'm advertising the stream. There we go. There we go. Stream is advertised. People can pour in. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. How you doing? How Bob's here. Bob's here. I'm not stinky. Wait, why is this not working again? Why is it always broken? Why is it always... Bob calling me stinky. You made my model so upset it didn't want to work anymore. Oh my goodness. Oh my goody goodness. My goody good. I had an eye test today. And I don't need glasses. Wait. Wrong one. Is this? I don't need glasses anymore. Actually, I do. I need to get better glasses. I don't need to. They said actually your like eyesight barely changed. But since you get migraines and stuff, we're going to advise that you like change your glasses. I'm like, okay. Oh, cat ears. You're giving me cat ears. Muscles. Oh my goodness. Oh, where's my blooming gloves on? Oh no, guys, I was reading for White Dwarf, the 50th anniversary White Dwarf, right? And have any of you watched the video that I did about, do you know, Warhammer? Oh gosh. Hi, Tack it Ronin. Hello, Tacit Ronin. You must do this to me. No, don't steal my jacket. No. Oh, goodness. But if you watch the video, you know that there's like a 10-minute thing on the history of Warhammer in the video, right? And I spent hours researching that. I was going through like Wikipedia. I mean, that's the easy part. But also going through like the Warhammer, oh, what's it called? Like the past communications with stockholders and stuff like that. I was trying to just like going onto old forums and everything, trying to look up conversations just to make sure the history I gave was correct. Because you can't trust Wikipedia. And I didn't need to, if I just waited like a couple of weeks to put up my video, Handcam, I would have. Where's this blooming 50 years? I wouldn't have needed to do that. I wouldn't have needed to spend hours searching for the correct pictures and stuff because this bloom. Let me turn that light off. Oh no, the light is on. Oops. But yeah, because this is going over the history of Warhammer, like back in 1982. And like the things about all the stuff. It's like, oh my goodness. Why do you do this to me? You're watching me. Like for watching, and they've even used the same type of pictures that I was planning to use. Like, do you know, pictures of the Warhammer thing. The old edition pictures. That one, like that's the thumbnail picture there. Bigger muscles. I can't get bigger muscles, I'm sorry. Hi, Yogs. How you doing? Yogshav. Miss Cupcake, conjure me a cake. Make it the sweetest that I've ever ate. Give it something Sandman song parody. Oh, I love singing that random song to myself. On Warhammer World. I never put that into the film. Darn Longsons wants those muscles. Can't even blame him though. Maybe if I do more cola lifts, I can get bigger muscles. Wait, that one. Yeah, there we go. You acquire bigger muscles. Go to the gym then. Oh, but yeah. And then you've got this thing, one of the big hard things that was hard for me to get is the early games section here. Where it's showing all these things. I was struggling to find like all the different games they've got. Like on Wikipedia there's a bunch of them, but also some of the games aren't actually like properly produced by Warhammer at the time, or Games Workshop, sorry. So it was a bit difficult, but here it's just got them right there. Oh, I also went over Dreadfleet. Just like the White Dwarf people, I love Dreadfleet. I wish that they re-released this. Yeah. Oh. Also, loads of cool old art. And we're talking about like the different designs, and sometimes like they purposely were going into some of the weird shapes and stuff because we're trying to like, you know, go with old Renaissance art and stuff, but do you know if we're doing lots of experimenting with it? I was like, I see that. I can see that. Look at all this art though. Very beautiful art. And we're talking about the change to digital. Also, old Warhammer games. I've never heard of that game before though. Warhammer Shadow of the Horned Rat. And it's like, what? Overlying eye. Yeah, Lionel Johnson. But yeah, I just found that really interesting that just a couple of weeks ago I was trying to study the history of Games Workshop and then they did this. Also find it funny how I decided to get my hands on one of the reprints of Battle of Macragge. And now with this White Dwarf, I just decided to buy it just because it was a 50 of one and it seemed like it'll be interesting. I might do like a proper video that basically just runs over history and just uses this as a reference. But yeah, it's got for Battle of Macragge things like how to play Battle of Macragge with modern models. It doesn't have, I was hoping it would have like the proper objectives of, you know, rescuing the gene seed and stuff from the pilot, but it doesn't. I imagine because it doesn't expect you to actually have a model to use as a pilot. But yeah, so that was kind of interesting. But yeah, now that I think about it, the algorithm isn't doing you well. Yeah, at the moment where YouTube's decided it doesn't like me recently, like a bunch. I say that some of my videos have done like my streams have done super well, just like after I finish streaming, and then they just get loads of views afterwards. Especially the Terminator ones and the Warhammer ones, but some YouTube's. I've been trying to do a bit of experimenting with how I've got stuff in the background because of how YouTube is. But make sure you like the stream, because liking the stream really boosts how much YouTube like decides to advertise the stream. Like, unfortunately, we're all interns to the algorithm. But yeah, I also went to our local Warhammer store today when I got my eyes tested. Oh yeah, always have you seen this? I got this free when I ordered some 3D parts. It's super cool. It's like tech piece statue. I did find you through recommendations. Yeah! But also the algorithm really loved me. Now it's decided it really hates me. Ooh! Oh, it actually has the stats of a red gobbo here. Wasn't expecting that. 45 points for a red gobbo. Tin boy. It has 6-inch moves, 6 toughness, 3+ armor save, 5+ invulnerable, 5 wounds. Tin Boy's custom shooter gets 3 shots, hitting and 3 strength, 5 AP -1, damage 2. Tin Boy's claw, 3 attack, strength 6, AP -1, damage 2. Lone operative, scouts. Oh, it's got lone operative. That's ridiculously good. Can it join killer cannon squads? No. Names. Dreadnought, Dross Elmai, Invicta Tactical Warcan, Tin Lad, Tin Boy. Once at the start of each of your shooting phases, you can target this unit with a grenade stratagem for 0 CP. Oh, that's ridiculously good. And you can do so even if you have already targeted a different unit with that stratagem. Oh. But what I really like in here is you got all your gifts, whatever, stuff you buy for Warhammer. But actually, the thing that I found useful in here, oh yeah, it also tells you how to paint the Tin Lad. And it recommends basing in white. But what I did like is the colour range guide. Got all the different colours in here. That's really useful to me. I wonder if we've got any good pinks, like proper bright pink. Quinzenberg is a shade. Layer pinks. Fulgrim pink. Emperor's Children. Pink horror's not that dark. Oh no, maybe it is. I feel like pink horror's more like Emperor's Children colour though. Base colours. Where's the contrast colours? Is that for front? Yeah. Ooh, Doomfire Magenta is a good pink. Yeah. Oh, Christmas gift list. Oh yeah, and for those of you, if I don't know if this has been used yet, but if anyone wants to use this, if you play Tacitus, there's a code here. Yeet. Thoughts on abhumans, hate or no? Personally, I like abhumans. Abhumans are fun in Warhammer. Like beastmen, all the different types of abhumans and stuff. They're pretty fun ideas. Tacticus code. Yeah, it gives you this Sanguinian Priest. I don't know if anyone's used it yet because I showed it off last stream, but just in case no one has. I thought I'll just make sure to show it because I know Finns Falcador plays Tacitus, but I don't know about anyone else. Because I definitely don't, so this is useless to me. But also, I was reading, I got the actual Black Templar Codex. Yeah. Oh, and I was having fun with the Codex. I was reading it to see like how my chapter would work with them. And it's like, oh, not my chapter, my crusade. I was just reading to see if it still had a thing doing where it like kind of contradicts to itself. And it does. It still contradicts to itself. So you got this thing where it's talking about the Black Templars and how they treat the astropaths badly. But then you got down here where it says that those psychers who are quite highly praised amongst the Imperium and stuff, they often see as like vessels of the Emperor's will. I'm like, oh, yeah! That means that there's basically an excuse for your, you know, whatever your crusade, really liking your astropaths or your psychers or whatever. Basically it says right here, they view some psychers as, you know, vessels of the Emperor's will. It's not guaranteed to be answered by salvation, but it does mean that there's plenty of times that the Black Templars will come along and, you know, act as salvation. Equally, there's other things about how they don't necessarily build worlds, you know, rebuild and fix worlds that got destroyed. But it says they don't always, meaning other times they do actually help rebuild worlds. Most of them are bald. No, most of them have bowl cuts. Look at that hair. Look at that cool hair. Morning, TA. How you doing? But yeah, onwards the Black Templars conquer their toiling armies of indoctrinated serfs and lobotomized servitors raise forbidding chapter keeps. part armoured fortifications and part shrine. These fortresses serve as temporary strongholds and mustering points of future crusades. They are glowering reminders to remaining populace that it was the God Empress Angels of Death who delivered them from, and that their faith is under constant scrutiny. Now this is a bit different because older codex used to say that it was a maybe. They wouldn't always like not rebuild worlds, but here it says they got no interest in rebuilding worlds cast into ruin. They make demands of what the grateful but shattered planet has, and depart eager to purge the next blasphemies. But I'm thinking my crusade likes to rebuild worlds. They like to make sure that there's nothing left to purge on the world. But they do like to rebuild the worlds. Mostly because if they want the worlds to be building and churning out more tanks and more soldiers and more space marines for the Emperor's will and for the Emperor's duty. But I'm thinking that maybe my crusade. Guys, I've got a bunch of Inquisitor models now. I'm thinking that maybe like my crusade got so big that it caught the eye of some Inquisitors, and now the Inquisitors effectively forced the crusade to take on a new name and become a new chapter. Hence why they keep diverging from what you expect of normal Black Templars, because they're not Black Templars anymore. They once were, but were forced to diverge due to getting too large, and the Inquisitors getting upset at them. They also like to eat cupcakes. No, they don't like to eat cupcakes. That's incorrect information. Incorrect information. So mean. So mean. I also got a new book. If you want to see the other book I got. I've got too much to read now. Despite still not having finished this book, and despite the fact that I just got this book arrived, I did start reading it, and I decided to get this book while I was out because I was on Reddit and someone was saying Leviathan's a good book. I'm like, ooh, that's like the 10th edition book, like the start of 10th edition. I want to read that. Like, oh. But yeah, anyone wants to use that code and it's not being used already, use it. Oh. But we've got blooming Terminators to eat. Not to eat, to build. Blooming Terminators. That's not the way I've opened this. You go, duh. Ultramarine symbol. Toilet seat. Really bad. Wait, Cavius Kane, Hero of the Imperium. No, I don't have any of those books. But what I'm thinking we're going to build today is finish our squad that was meant to be like the equivalent of a first company with primary detachment. Okay, now that's Assault Marines, Assault Terminators, Assault Terminators, Assault Terminators. Aha! Shooty Terminators. Yeah. They're not here for us to eat. They are for the Tyranids. No, we're not feeding the Terminators to the Tyranids. Wait, let me also look at the statue. Look at the statue! So cool. Oh, gosh. There you go. Yep, so these, like, the 13th detachment is the equivalent, kind of, to most other, like, first companies and stuff. in which it's made up of 69 Terminators and a vulnerable Dreadnought. It's referred to as the Vengeful Veterans. But the first detachment, the primary detachment, has the Marshal in it, or the High Marshal or whatever. And that has 10 Terminators in it. It's mostly made up of sword buffing and stuff because, you know, Terminator armor doesn't really have the same flexibility that other armor offers. But this is the sergeant of that squad in the primary detachment, serving directly under a marshal. Then here's another dude. They're all gonna have capes. I've got plenty of capes for them now. Yeah. And they're gonna be like a bit more decorated than the other characters we've got. I'm gonna make sure they've got plenty of purity seals on them. Plenty of extra stuff. Make sure they all have a little tabards. Because we want them feeling like these guys are some of the most elite of the elite. That's the aim. So, where are they? We got some tabards here. Some more tabards. Some capes. Some shoulder pads. And some helmets. Well, first, we'll get on to building the next rocket monster. The rocket man. Yeah. Oh. Yeah, I'm also trying to decide on, like, I should make some more shorts. I'm just trying to decide, like, what do I want in the shorts? Like, what would you want to hear in the shorts? I was thinking about, like, making a nice calming thing where, like, I go over my painting process. I thought people might appreciate that. And, like, dealing with mistakes while you're painting. Because Warhammer's not like Bob Ross. It's... Because Bob Ross, you make a happy little mistake, and it's a happy little mistake, but when you're trying to basically colour in the lines, going out of the lines isn't quite as much of a happy little mistake. So I was thinking about doing something like that, you know? Where actually maybe a mistake is a little happier than you think. You can use your mistake to your advantage. And every mistake is another opportunity to learn. I was thinking about doing something like that. But then I was also thinking, a lot of the, like, better, you know, people and stuff, they're super, super excitable all of the time. And they're like, yeah, let's go, woo! And then I'm thinking, like, maybe I need to do something more like that. But I struggle being excitable. Ah! Okay, where's... I'm meant to have some little bases in here. Do I not have a little bases? No! No, there's only 2 little bases. I'm meant to have like 3 of them. For the homing beacon. Army showcase. At the moment, I don't think an army showcase is very good because I don't really have a fully painted army yet. I've just got... I could do model showcases. Like with my... I've still not finished it. I need to finish my big old battle wagon. But yeah. I've got lots of models that are unpainted, but not so many that are actually painted. Because if I've not painted something on stream, there's a good chance I've not painted it. Oof. Or maybe just like finding extracts in books that I've got and just reading them in like an epic voiceover. That's what some of these YouTubers do. Did you paint? No. I had a method for painting the Titan and my Mastodons, but I was testing it on my Mastodons and it went very wrong, very badly. And I've not fixed them yet. It's just trying to find the time and effort to do them, especially with my health. And then just me being me and just finding excuses not to do stuff. Oh. Thinking I'm gonna start trying to read at night instead of like just read a chapter, read 2 chapters and just keep my phone away from me. There we go. Oh, little homing beacon. I like these little homing beacons. I should probably save some of the homing beacons to use for like just cool terrain or diorama type stuff. There we go. Yeah, my Titan definitely needs painting. But I want to fix my Mastodons first. Well, they're just so badly done. I have to go over everything with Wraithbone. Oh, it's so bad. I think I'm just gonna fix them by hand. The base paint should be able to go onto resin well enough. And then just use a varnish. I know what I need to do to undercoat the Titan, because my plan was to cover parts of it in masking tape, undercoat it, like spray it, take off the masking tape once it's dried. Oh, no. Spray something one colour, put masking tape over those parts that I want to keep that colour, and then spray it again, the other colour. So basically, because the 2 main colours I'm using are black and white, undercoat white ones, wait for it to dry, put masking tape on it, then undercoat it with black. But what I should have done, and I didn't do, is I should have waited like a full 24 hours for it to dry before putting masking tape on top of it. And then I should have waited another 24 hours for the black to dry before taking the masking tape off. But I didn't do that. And now the Mastodons are right. I can show you the Mastodons actually. Just give me a moment. Boy. Oh gosh. So yeah, here's where it went bad. You can see just where it peeled away all of the white and stuff in these different zones. And then some zones where it just didn't stop the... Oh no, where it peeled away for black. And it's like, yeah, it's... Well, there's some areas like there where I just didn't actually catch it properly with the spray paint. Oh my goodness. But yeah, it's not very good. And you can see they actually go like that. It flakes a bit more of it off. Oh wait. Yeah. More masking tape. It did not go well at all. It's like, look at that side as well. It's like, oh. So I'm wondering what to do about it. I'm thinking about just going over with just a brush and doing it, because I've heard the base colours can be used as primers. But yeah, and I have a lot of Terminators to paint. I do. Where did it? There it is. I've also got a load of models already undercoated. I think there's 26 of them that need to be painted. But it should be a relatively easy style. Basically just take, I'm thinking Wraithbone, dry brush the entire model with it, then go over all the areas that want black with just black contrast paint. Then go over all the areas that want white. With a Wraithbone there, it should hopefully help. It should be relatively quick in theory. In theory. But yeah, there's a lot of projects to get done. Okay, just need to figure out how these work again. No. What about like this? No. Like this? No. Like this? No. Sorry. Splash me. Or maybe it was like this. Oh, maybe. Maybe. No, I don't think so. Now, those two pieces might not go together. It might be these two pieces. Like this. Or close. Thank you. If you don't want to paint them, you can always feed them to Slaanesh, to the Tyranids, or sacrifice them to Slaanesh. No! No, I do want to paint them. It's just going to take a while to get around to it. Ah. It's like I'm missing a piece. I feel like there's a big old piece. Oh, it's these two pieces. There we go. I knew I was missing something. It's meant to be 5 pieces for each rocket pod. I imagine that if they were to make like a Total War game, I'm trying to think about like how the weapons would work in terms of like ammunition. Like, would this weapon have a lot of ammunition? Or would it get like 6 shots and then it's out of ammo? It makes sense that special weapons would have like 6 shots, because there's literally just 6 rockets there. But then what about like tactical squads where you got a normal missile launcher? And they seem to actually be able to have like a lot of rockets. When you look at all the bits and stuff you can get for your tactical squads and yeah, devastator squads. Which then would make, like, these rockets are better than normal rocket launchers in the game. Because they're basically, I don't know, 2 rocket launchers at once. But in something like Total War, they could potentially be worse because they get effectively less shots. When I was a little kid, I used to believe that, do you know in video games that they'd shoot like the rockets and then the rockets would like reload into it? Like from behind? I used to think that's how these worked. That he just fired small rockets and then there's a lot of them inside. But no, the rocket's just really long. And in real life, when they reload them, they just reload them from behind. It's like, oh... yeah, that makes more sense. I was a little kid and I played video games. I almost said I played video games for a living as a little kid. It's like, oh my gosh. I was a Let's Play, I was a little kid. If only we could play video games for a living. Nah. That means it's you. Right? You'd think so. Unless it is you. I was right the first time. What? These little rocket launchers. Not the easiest things in the world to figure out how to put together. There we go. And then you go here. Oh, you do go there. Yeah. Not Slanesh, not Con, not Nurgle. I'm not stinky. I'm not. Although I do realise I've had bad breath recently, and I don't know why. Like every morning I wake up, I'm like, ugh. I can taste it. I think maybe I'm dehydrated. Maybe I need to drink more. Although I keep having like sore throats and stuff, and being bunged up. I wonder if I should just be taking like antihistamines all the time. But antihistamines make me ill, so I'd rather avoid that. Okay, what pieces go with what? That's piece 25, that's piece 40. Piece 25 goes with piece 72, no. Oh, 27. Yeah, 27 sounds like a good piece to go with piece 25. Give everything to Cinch. No! No! Don't give everything to Cinch is evil. Cinch is evil. The most evil of the gods. Although for one, most likely to, you know, help you fight for you for gods because it doesn't want the great game to end. Okay, piece 25 is here. Wow. Wow. Hello, Tony. How's your day going? I'm doing okay-ish. I had an eye test and I passed with flying colours. They said I've got the highest score. My vision is 80-90. I actually have no idea what my vision is. Don't know how to read the prescription. No, my vision's gone slightly worse since last time, but not very much worse. Okay, 28 and 31. That sounds correct. And 26. That also sounds correct. How many terminators? We're trying to make at least 5 today. That's the aim. But we never know until we try. We've already made one little thing today. Oh, homing beacon. More than one. More than maybe. That's very optimistic right there. More than one. We'll be lucky if we get one Terminator built. 29. We did 6. No, last time we did 3. Last time we built 3. They were cool character Terminators. And one of them we did build a clay base for. So, you know. The time before that, we did 5. And the time before that, we did 6. Oh no, the time before that we did 7, and the time before that one we did 6, sorry. $14, $8, $45, $30. Well, we need 30 over here. It won't be made in time for GTA 6. They might not see whatever year. 2027. 2027. 60, 33, 48. Oh, maybe it is 33. Yeah, 33 sounds about right. $32 also sounds about right. There we go. So we got a bunch of pieces here. Painted. They ain't going to be painted. Actually, no, I do want to do a big old painting thing for them. So we might get them painted in a decent time frame. I say in a decent time frame. We might get them painted. Because I am planning, once they're all built, I'm planning to then do for painting 127 Terminators. I'll make sure they all get undercoated. I just want to paint 20 Space Marines first. Just to test out the colour scheme and way that we're going to paint them. There we go. Cupcake probably has 33 unpainted. What do you mean 33? 33? That's a very optimistic number. I've got 26 figures that are currently undercoated waiting to be painted of my Templars. I've got 10 orcs that are undercoated waiting for painting. I've got an entire Eldar army that's not undercoated, entire Chaos army that's not even undercoated, many Black Templars that aren't undercoated, and most of the Arcs aren't even undercoated. Zar's been revealed, by the way. He has manipulations window and does dark rituals. Starts the expanded Chaos Waste. Oh, they're getting expanded for Chaos Waste above Cafe. Ooh. I was wondering if I'll put Saul. It's nice that those are getting expanded because it always felt a bit boring up there and felt, especially for the Chaos factions, like there wasn't much point even staying up there. Well, that's pretty cool. Also, the manipulations and stuff definitely makes sense of his character dynamic. Definitely feels like he should be mostly manipulating other Chaos dudes, though. My Terminators are already based. Brilliant joke. Okay, 52. I'm wanting peace. 53 or 54. 39. That's 84. 19. 38. Nothing is here. That's 85. Where's 52? Right? Oh, there's 53. Where's 54? That's what I want. 54, 54, 84, 39, 69. Okay. That one is not a chain bladey one. Oh wait, that one is 54. There we go, 54. Oh my gosh, there's been so many sirens today. So many police and ambulances and stuff out when I was out in the town. He has the ability to split an army in two. His own army or an enemy's army. Either way, that's kind of cool. Saul and the power of mitosis. I motivated Daft. Dad. Hello, motivate. Obviously an enemy army. Well, when you say split it in two, that suggests that it becomes two new armies, which basically means a new lord for the army. Are the army able to move by itself without a lord attached to it? And that sounds really cool to be able to do. Because that's something he used to do in the old games, like the really old Total War ones. But it's not something he can do anymore. Oh, the AI sometimes does that. Mostly after one of the lords get killed and they just don't bother replacing it. Would be cool if you could upgrade a hero into a lord and split it off from the main army. Yeah. That's kind of how lords used to work and heroes and stuff. Like in the very old Total War games, you'd put your lord. Give me a moment, I'm looking for stuff. That's 64. So I'm now looking for 65 and 66. 16, 17, 35. Oh, 66 is fair. You were in 67 though. But yeah, so what you'd have is you'd have your lord or your family member or whatever, and they'll just walk around the map as their own army. But you could just merge them right into somebody else's army, so you could just have an army made up of like faction leaders and characters, and then just split them off. It was a fun way to do it. I kind of miss being able to do that. 67. Wait, what's this about 67? 627. Actually, I think Conjuror is too Unk status to know from them. What do you mean Unk status? Actually, I have heard of a meme. I've just not seen the original meme. Mostly I've just seen memes making fun of a meme. On the stuff. Like, this is why Order 66 wasn't Order 67. It's the man about the number 67. Look, I live under a rock. So old.cc went to school with a Catan. No! I'm not the oldest person alive. You're so mean to me. I'm gonna cry now. Look. Look, back in my day, the funny number was 69 and 420. And I still don't know why for funny numbers. It's just memes. And you either laugh with the meme, or you don't laugh with the meme. Look, I've got a selective memory to learn. That was years ago. But it was just in 67. 1967. That's when it was. Were the old ones cool kids or weirdos? Do you mean people laughing at the numbers 49, 69, 420 and 69 and stuff like that? Yeah, they were the weirdos. The people who were into internet culture and slang and stuff, yeah, they've always been the nerds and weirdos. But the cool kids refuse to hang out with because they don't act like functioning humans. Oh gosh, there we go. But I was always on the non-functioning side of things, so it's fine. Fuon, how you doing? 6, 7. Yeah, the cool people were the ones like Conjuror building Warhammer and not doing sports. Look, I had to do more sports than most people. You don't even understand how much sports I had to do as a kid. Having a naturally athletic build was my burden to bear. You probably don't know for 42 mem. What you guys don't know for 47 mem. Do ya? Agent 47. Okay, because of the way this head is, it can't actually turn to face that direction. Let's go for a different head. Let's check to make sure there's not different helmets. There's not. Sad. You're old enough to see for Emperor. The Emperor's around today. Like, according to 40k canon, the Emperor is legitimately around somewhere today. Probably buying up crypto. The Emperor was a tech bro. Actually, no, the Emperor was like an artist who just lost his job to AI. That's why he hates AI. Or he was a coder. Look, you're getting all this cool lore with me. But you never knew about the Emperor. As a siege cultist, all according to plan. CC is about to see Gork and Mork fight and say, "Get off my lawn, you kids." Look, according to my lore, I have been around since before the beginning of the universe. Since before time could even move forward. I have been around. I forgot to get more super glue. I'm gonna have to trust this super glue. Oh gosh. They adding the Power Fist to Space Marine 2 in a free update. Yay, finally. Like the go-to. What about the Chain Fist? They need to add the Chain Fist. The Emperor can canonically disguise himself to be anything. He's probably not strolling around 14 feet tall. CC might be the Emperor. I mean, considering the Emperor actually isn't 14 foot manifestations go. I like the old lore that's not necessarily canon anymore. In which the reason for because of the way the warp works, you gain power. But the warp doesn't really care about time. But worship equals power. So something that gets worshipped becomes a god. If it enough people. Hi Mal, how you doing? Thanks for the headback. Yeah, Cuptle. I can't share them with you, I'm sorry. Power Fist will probably make you buy the game as long as your computer can run it. That's one of the big things I see people do a lot. They don't realise that the computer can't handle Space Marine 2. It's a very intensive game. And the heavy bolt and the heavy bolt. The heavy bolt and heavy bolt pistol were already in the game. Life is hard. Oh, it doesn't want to get off. It doesn't want to stay on. There we go, hopefully. Yeah. Done. Another rocket boy. Although, actually, no, we've not done him. We've just got the cape on. We need to give him a tabard. Where's my tabards? Here we go. Thunderhammer 2. Thunderhammer was already in the game as well. Okay, that does not fit there at all. So that's fine. Let's try a different one just to make sure. If the answer's still no, we can always change to the different tabards. Yeah. Change to these ones. Ever thought about infinite knowledge? Join Siege today. I already have infinite knowledge. I just don't know how to access it all. There we go. That works. Oh gosh, I had a delivery from Every yesterday. And they didn't knock on the door or anything. They just threw it into the garden. And the box was all bashed up and stuff. And I'm like, I'm glad I didn't have anything fragile in that box. There we go. That feels good. Hi, Melatonin. What colour are these Terminators going to be? Black Templar colours, kind of. I'm thinking about making it so for like their own chapter, but I'm unsure. Oh, I'm back. This is kind of the colour scheme we're going to go for. Black, gold, white and blue. Yeah. With some red. But mostly gold and bronze. Actually, he was definitely not... Wait, where's my light? My light wasn't on. Yeah. Although this guy is definitely not the best painted. Even though he's meant to be my, like, leader of my crusade. Stormcast Eternal Marines. No! We're not Sigmarines. We're not Custodes. There you go. This guy's better painted. Yeah, this guy's a better representation of the colours they'll be. Like, look, he's got little lightning bolts on his big old axe. Yeah. Look, he's called Carmichael the 7th. Oh, and look at his bolt pistol. So dirty. So dirty. Nice, thank you. Although I wish I painted my battle wagon as nicely. It didn't turn out as nice as I hoped it would for battle. I've still got a little bit of work to do getting that face fixed up. I was trying to do like a red glow on the face, but it didn't go too well. The glow on top of those things went better. I also need to do like little whites to the eyes as well. With these guys. Yeah, I mean, it went okay-ish, this model painting. I generally thought that was a Celestial Lion colour scheme at first. Oh, for my Templar? No, it's Black Templars. Just, I like using blue instead of red for them. I'm thinking about having for Crusade, like the Inquisitors forced it to become its own chapter because of how... I'm going to have like 1,000 Marines in my Crusade by the time the list is finished. So I'm thinking, yeah, maybe it'll be its own like little chapter that started off as a Black Templar Crusade with Inquisitors. The Ordo Astartes forced them to be a new chapter from the Sons of Dawn. That's a lot of Marines. Can we have one Marine? No! No! No one else is allowed Marines. I'm gonna build 1,000 of them. I like his sunglasses though. His sunglasses back there. I love them. Oh, I think I might need to fix up the teeth a bit more. I like the little glare on his glasses. I think the squig went okay. Considering it's really hard to reach a squig with all of these different pieces in the way. I think it went surprisingly okay in the end. I realised that for grots especially, I should have just painted before putting them on the model because they're just so hard to reach. Like that guy trying to paint him and I'm having to paint with my hand over here and the brush. So I'm like, oh, I'm having to paint him like this and that is not easy. Or like this sometimes, but then you can't really get under. So if you want to get under, you have to come off like that. It's very difficult. It looks great. It looks okay. Add more darker, yeah. Oh, there's still a bit that needs to be done. And I definitely have not gotten around to it yet. Thinking I might make a shop that's just like a little showcase of that once it's finished. But we need to get some stuff on this guy. Let's get one of these little shields out. She's only going to build them. No. I've already got a lot of the Marines, but I say a lot. I've got a number of the Marines painted. I've got one Dreadnought. I've got a Stern Guard squad. Well, 5 Stern Guard. 5 Intercessors painted. 3 Aggressors. Some Marshal. A Sword Brethren. A Castellan. A Chaplain, 20 Crusaders, and that's all the Space Marines that are painted. Oh gosh, yeah. Blooming things falling off here. Oh, let's get some purity seals on them. Maybe sub-assemble for better painting. They would do, but I've just got so many models I need to build. So just make room for more boxes of models. So I just prefer to get all my models built and then to paint them. Even though I know sometimes it will make the painting process harder. Because if I have to paint them then build them, sorry, I'm just, the work's just got to be too much for me. I'm going to get overwhelmed very quickly. At least if I'm building models and then painting some models, I feel like I'm making progress. There we go. Tincture's the greatest god. No, the God Emperor's the greatest god. Yeet. Okay, we need more purity seals. We need more purity! Give me 20 cc's of purity stat. We're giving her all the purity we can, Captain. She can't take any more. Hogwash. Give us more purity. Also, I got like some more shoulder pads for the terminators, except they accidentally sent the wrong type of shoulder pads. We'll be sending the correct ones now, so it's fine. There we go. Purity seals. Cincture's already pure. Cincture isn't pure. Cincture's just pure evil. Oh gosh, I just went black. Oh gosh. Tiny piece. What is that? It's a tiny little book. Oh. Adorable. As pure as she can he be, Captain. Pure as she can be. Oh, Scotty. Scotty's the best. Well, maybe Scotty's not the best, but Scotty's great. If not the best, you have to admit. He's a good old fella. After Scotty died, we had to replace him with Walshy. They were like rails gets for like the rough end of a stick. There we go. Everyone forgets about Wales. There we go. There we go. Star Trek. What's everyone's favourite Star Trek? I'm stuck between Lower Decks, TNG, and DS9. Like them all for different reasons. Well, honestly, it would hard to be to like them all for the same reason because they're very different shows. Luke Skywalker. Star Wars! Star Wars is the worst. No one likes Okay, Star Wars is fine. I like the Clone Wars when it comes to Star Wars. Bad Batch wasn't too bad. I kind of expected not to like Bad Batch, but then it was like, you know what? these fellas aren't half as bad as I expected. From just how... But you kind of don't expect it to be good. Well, I didn't. Like, it just felt so generic. Like, all the characters. You got typical dumb, tough guy. Nerdy, smart guy. The leader. Whose power is charisma. Empire Strikes Back is great. The third film, though, kind of sucks. Episode 6. And the prequel trilogy, I actually don't mind all of them. They're pretty cool. Okay, there he is. He's a pure lad. Pure hatred. But there we go. He goes into the first army. The first army he does. Then we got another lad to build. And this lad is... Yeah, I think we're all just normal Terminators now. Oh, he's got to steal one of the helmets. That makes sense. Like, where's the helmet? I stole it. Okay. Where is this? 1. We got piece number 1. Do. Piece number 1. Do. The only one for sure. The only one wanting more. There you go. Terminators still kind of suck though, don't they? Like, what are you meant to do with Terminators? I mean, you're dropping them behind the enemy lines. That's what you're really meant to do. That's where the utility comes in. But you're paying a premium for Terminators. And they don't necessarily have a lot going for them for that premium. They got a lot of survivability. But survivability isn't the be-all and end-all of the game. Be big and dominant. Definitely to scare the opposition. Yeet. But you can do the same with aggressors and dreadnoughts and other stuff. But effectively, you're paying premium for the Terminators, for the deep strike, for the toughness and durability, and for the power fists. Well, the thing is, when you actually look at like the stats and so on, otherwise they're slow, they're clunky. They don't have good shooting stats. And the melee stats are decent enough, but not so great. Like, especially when you compare them to the likes of Sword Brethren and Blade Guard and stuff like that. They start feeling like they don't necessarily have a decent place for them in the army. On top of that, like Sword Brethren and stuff, they can have lieutenants join them. They can have, I say Sword Brethren, Blade Guard, they can have lieutenants join them, captains, chaplains, all sorts. Hello, Night Parade, which boosts them heavily. And they can move quicker, they can go in vehicles, you can have larger units in vehicles, they can be supported while inside the vehicle. There's a lot going on for your basics infantry units. You've also got your assault intercessors that can deal mortal wounds of a charge and can jump about the place and can deep strike. All these other units can be put into drop pods. Well, your aggressors can't be. But also, it's like they have to compete with the aggressors, and the aggressors just... In terms of damage output, the aggressors definitely have the advantage because they have twin-linked power fists, and their shooting is just better with either twin-linked flamethrowers or... Oh, what's it called? Twin-linked assault bolt guns and crack grenades. And their toughness 6, which is pretty big. And they can have a graphist captain join them, who is pretty powerful. And they can have an apothecary who gives some lethal hits. The apothecary biologist. So it definitely puts the aggressors in a position that the terminators are going to struggle competing with. On top of this, terminators without the ancient don't have good OC, so they're not great at capturing objectives behind the enemy lines. Once on the table, they lose their utility and mobility. None of this is to say Terminators are bad. Just, they rarely feel like the correct choice for a situation. Definitely wasn't always the case. Terminators used to be the be-all and end-all of Space Marine army lists. That being said, unlike a lot of armies, I don't think Terminators are necessarily bad. Like, some armies just have these units that are just straight up bad. It's a negative taking from. Terminator Silver, it's not a negative taking from, it's just not your best choice. Are they good for defending objectives or for absorbing attacks? They're good for distracting your opponent. So generally how you want to use a Terminator is keep them in reserve, drop them behind the enemy lines. Preferably you want to drop them in a position where big stuff that is effective a Terminator, such as like a Forge Fiend with its plasma cannons, isn't going to be able to instantly target it. Or if it can, you've got a good chance to charge them first, which with the captain, you've got a good chance of actually getting that charge off successfully. Once they're behind the enemy lines, we're either often going to have to divert a significant amount of forces to deal with the Terminators, or risk losing the objectives at the back line, because Terminators, despite what I just said, they're still very killy. Don't deploy them on floors that can't take the weight of a tank. Arguably, that's true. It'll be funny if you see like Terminators having little jump pack things. So that if they do fall, they can just like jump back up. That'll be hilarious. And aggressors have that. Not aggressors, Raphael's armor now has that, so why can't Terminators? But also, hello Nano Fate. But yeah, Terminators. I think really that is the thing. They're definitely just there to scare and distract the opposition. A good opposition will generally not focus too much on them, because they have a relatively low OC, which means that they're not that good at capturing objectives if something else is competing with them for that objective. And on top of that, they're very expensive. Like a unit of Terminators is, for 5 models, 180 points or something like that. Meaning that by just having the Terminators in your army list, you're immediately diverting a significant chunk of your army to be the Terminators. And you're hoping, it's a bit like distraction carnifexes, that your opponent will distract more than that amount of points to deal with Terminators, but they won't always need to. For instance, they might just send a single Mauler Fiend at your Terminators, and that's where the dangers come with Terminators. Distraction carnifexes are good because they're cheap, and they're tough, and they're scary looking. A Mauler Fiend is cheaper than a squad of Terminators by quite a number of points. A Forge Fiend is just as expensive as a unit of Terminators. A Hellbrute is cheaper. What else could they distract? A Wraithlord is cheaper. But all of these things are things that could deal with Terminators. And Terminators could in turn deal with them in melee. But a Mauler Fiend might be able to wipe out your Terminator unit in one turn. Averages say it shouldn't do that, but averages also say your Terminator shouldn't beat a Mauler Fiend in one turn. Brother, I am pinned here. There's quite a few instances in lore where Terminator Marines fell through the floor and they had to call the cranes and stuff to retrieve them. Yeah, I think there's a couple of instances in lore of Terminators, you know, doing the entire falling through. And then just getting back up because they like cleave through the floor and stuff. They're relatively good at absorbing attacks, but I wouldn't say they're perfect at it. The main downside of Terminators trying to absorb attacks is that they're only toughness 5 with 3 wounds. They have a 4+ invulnerable save, this is good. But the main issue is if the opponent just throws relatively low AP but a lot of firepower into them, such as Heavy Bolters. Plasma cannons, stuff like that. It can actually do quite a lot of damage to Terminators, so while they can absorb damage, they are far away from perfect at it. Like the White Dwarf I was reading, the Chaos Marines dropped Terminators behind a bunch of them mortars and, you know, wyverns, anti-infantry tanks. For anti-infantry tanks, dealt with the Terminators. Because they just get weight of attacks into the Terminator. Back. There we go. If you don't see me, reload the stream. 1822. I never checked what the fist was. Okay, that's 21. So it was on this side. Probably 37. Yeah, it was 37, so I want 38 now. Paxis Gold Descent. No, Grey Knight Terminators are really fun. Grey Knight Terminators, I would say, are a little better than normal Terminators. Because they got just a bit more utility to them. Especially with, you know, the entire teleporting around the battlefield gimmick that Grey Knights have. My main thing is where I'd say you're best using Terminators as opposed to anything else is actually... What is the actually best way to use the terminators? When there's something big and tough that you want to get killed immediately, terminators, especially with a terminator captain in them, are great at just dealing with something like that. Drop from behind it, charge, fail to charge, get your reroll to charge with your captain. Bing, bang, boom. Easy victory. We're very good on that hit. Imperial agents can just add Grey Knight Terminators to the army. Yep. They kind of needed that, but they still don't get the greatest utility out of them. The main thing the Imperial agents struggle with is the lack of vehicles. And we got other stuff they also like. But... oh, look at him, he's going all gangster style. I love Stormbolters. I prefer heavy stubbers to Stormbolters, but Stormbolters are fun. I just wish they're a little better on our Terminators. Give them the pistol special rule. It'll be perfect. Can't you use any Imperial vehicles on them? No. The Imperial agents don't work the other way around. You can't just take any other vehicles and put them in Imperial agents army. The only thing they have access to is, I think, if you add Sisters of Battle, you can have an Emoliator to put them in. Or something like that. They can have a Chimera, but these aren't heavy vehicles, and they're not very good anti-vehicles either. They don't have any Dreadnoughts, they don't have any Walkers, they don't get Lehman Russes or anything like that. They get... you can add Imperial Knights to them, but they have the same downside that everyone else has with Imperial Knights. And that they don't work with the detachments. And for, okay, right, people always go and get scared of Imperial Knights, but they're kind of, especially if there's just one of them in your army, they're not that difficult to deal with. But yeah, playing Knightless Imperial Knights is a better way to playing Imperial Agents. Well, yeah, Armigers are pretty cool by themselves. They're technically not knights, are they? But yeah, Imperial agents really struggle with a lack of vehicles. They even need something to help deal with vehicles easily. The Gene Stealer. Like, that's the other thing, is most of their infantry units are like anti-infantry. Their assassins are more anti-characters and aren't that good at dealing with vehicles. They can deal with vehicles, it's just really not what they're best suited to. Your Arbiters and stuff like that are all anti-infantry stuff. Your Navy Breachers, anti-infantry. There are a few anti-tank stuff there, but again, they're mostly designed to deal with other infantry, and they are really fun to play with against infantry-heavy armies. But once your opponent just decides to go half their army is tanks and vehicles, they generally lack a lot of dealing with that. Like, even the Sisters of Battle and the Grey Knights that they can get, Well, the Sisters of Battle can have a multi-mount us. But the Grey Knights aren't like running around with strength 8 weapons and stuff. Or stronger, or chain fists. You can use that one rule about getting AdMech units in an Imperial Knights army and add on Imperial Agents unit. So Inquisitors, Sororitas and Grey Knights are fair game. And Warhound Titans! I think only like a quarter of the army can be Imperial Agents, and the AdMech units you can get are very limited. It's just a few of the Tech Priests, not all of them, and some Skitari. Something like that for the AdMech Knights. It's a pretty fun way to play for Knights, personally, I think. I don't think it's a meta by any means. Just use a Skitari as a leader. Use your Dominus as a leader. Wait, can the Dominus be a leader in Imperial Knights? No, there's definitely should be my time to go out. Good luck. Good luck to you as well, Longstocks. Thanks for staying around so long. I hope you have a good time doing whatever you're doing. Oh. But yeah, Imperial Knights, they're fun. What about Terminators? But I wouldn't say doing that with Imperial Knights, just going for AdMech units is going to be better than Imperial Agents. Imperial Agents is just going to be better. You have your actual detachment rules to support them. And you can always add an Inquisitor to your army and make that for Warlord. I think. I know that some Imperial Knight players do add in Imperial Agents, just to have like some more objective controlling units, and to counter enemy infantry rushes. There's a big hearts to everybody, big hearts to everybody. Oh my gosh, my gloves are glowing. And don't forget to like the stream, everybody. Yee, because it helps me out. It's a big old bonus. Oh my goodness. Oh, click, click. Oh, it's clicked. No, it didn't. Never mind. The sad thing about it, once I've got like 40,000 points of models, because I've got these 3D printed bits, I don't think I could like ever get into White Dwarf or whatever. Playing Nightlight, it's crossover. Yeah, it's fun to play armies using the... That was my favourite thing about what 6th edition added to 40k. And why I stuck around with 6th edition despite not liking some of the changes they added. It's... The alliance chart allowed you to make some really fun and silly armies. By like allying in different things, and you could have like Black Templar with Elder allies, and that was just so fun to play with. Kind of wish we had more of an ally chart back, but I understand why they don't want it. It can be confusing. Oh, look at him. He's a big old tough cookie. Let's get him some purity seals. Let's make this man pure. Because I have loads of like Inquisitor stuff now, I'm thinking of different ways I can try adding them into the army. I'm devastated that Age of Sigmar 4th edition has no ally rules. Can't you ally Gargants into some of the armies? I want to collect a lot of armies. Yeah. I'm kind of sad that the current edition of 40k only has the Agents and the Imperial Knight ally rules. You can't have your Eldar coming in and whatever. Okay, Purity Seal on the fist, obviously. And I want at least one more Purity Seal or Relic on him. Oh gosh. There we go. The issue with trying to like super glue Purity Seals to the fist is that you have, because it's rounded, you have very few contact points. And because it's resin, it won't bend around it, it will just snap if I tried that. Maybe with a bit of hot water or something, but it's 3D printed resin. Oh, this looks interesting. From Horus Heresy, this piece. I wanted to play an Eldari and Ultramarines together so I can run Euphrain and Girly Man. It'll be mad funny. I mean, if you're playing casual games, you can always ask your opposing player if you can do an ally thing. And then like make some rules for it. What I've seen for rules of allies is you have to have 2 warlords. One for your allies, one for your current your main army. What else do they say you have to have? Your ally list can't be more than a quarter of your points. So if you're playing 1,000 points, you can't have more than 250 points in. And you have to have at least 1 battle line unit or something with your allies. I think it was like at least 1 battle line. It might have been something else. But I remember there was like a bunch of limitations effectively to just make it so you can't just spam in something stupid into your army that would just completely break the game. Oh yeah, your allies can't have their own detachment and they can't benefit from your detachment rule. Hello Sarah Dwin, how you doing? Amber was 40% or 20% depending on edition. Yeah. At the moment, it's like any ally stuff you're going to have to do as a custom rule set yourself. I don't know if like White Dwarf's done any like rules for it. But generally from what I've seen, it's 25%. Can't have a new detachment for your allies. The allies must have a warlord attached to them, and that warlord will also count towards any assassination stuff that your opponent chooses. Or like anything where you gain victory points for killing a warlord, will gain additional victory points for killing your allied warlord. But you can just play with whatever. If it's a casual game, you can just talk to the opposing player and be like, hey, would you mind this? And if it's not something where you organise the battle like days or hours in advance, Just make sure, like, if you go into the club, take 2 armies with you. One, just a normal army. One, which is your list with the allies in. You're fair to middling. That's not too bad. That's better than feeling terrible. Okay, so piece 42, piece 46, piece 43. Yeah, those are good. Those are 3 good pieces. Does anyone actually use a power sword for their terminators? If it was like, gave you 2 extra attacks and was damage 2, I think I might use a power sword. But generally I always give the captain or sergeant, sorry, a chain fist. And I also like to give the special weapon guys chain fists. Oh. But yeah. I'm kind of sad that 40k doesn't have the ally rules anymore. Okay, we need to get the other pieces here. 40. That sounds like it goes with this, maybe. Yep, it's for 41. And also, what piece is for leg piece? 56, nope. 71, nope. Is there another leg piece anywhere? Oh, there it is, 41. I missed it earlier. There we go. And this is done. Yeah. As if by done, I just mean it's cut out. Let's take this little piece here. And let's look. That's 11. That's 44. That is 77, 74, 62. 47. Okay, that's blank, so I'll just use this. Yep, these 2 pieces are nice enough. And the crotch piece. Oh, yeah. There you go. And then I want that power fist pointing. I want him pointing at things. Like, look at that! Over there! It's your mom! It's Joe Mama! The tech priest. Oh, I kind of miss our Mechanicus Let's Play. Want to play Mechanicus too. Oh, for Photon. Do you think we're going to get any new Photon lore with Mechanicus too? Okay, that can't be correct. That can't be correct. 21. Oh no, it's not correct. That was 19. That's the piece I wanted. Mechanicus 2 is getting 2 campaigns. Necron. And I guessed it, Mechanicus. Oh, you can play as the Necrons in Mechanicus 2. So I guess the Photons are just like Photon are just like allies you can bring in. And potential enemies. Maybe they're going to be a DLC campaign. Be nice if we get a proper photon campaign though. Did anyone see that? I hit the jackpot. Oh, did you? Okay, I'm going to go and detachment rules. Add sprinkles at Ceridwen. Hopefully this works. If it doesn't, how much did you do? 5,000, so that's 50,000. 1, 2, 3. There you go. Did that work? Nope, that just gave me more sprinkles. Screw that. Gift. Where's Ceridwen? Ceridwen. Gosh, there you are. Oh. Yeet. Okay, so you're 169,000 currently. That's 219,000. Where you're at. Okay, there you go. You got extra sprinkles. I gave you your sprinkles, Ceridwen. If you do the sprinkles command now, it should say 219,000 sprinkles rather than 169. Hello, Luca. How you doing? Ciao to you too. Wait, is that how you meant to say that? I can't remember. We're doing okay. We're making termies. We're making bacon terminators. Oh, there we go. This is the one we made so far today. One of them. Look how cool he is. He's got a cool cape. Some stuff. And then we got another one. Oh, so cool. So cool. And they're covered in 3D printed bits, so Games Workshop's not going to like them. Potentially. I want to get some blue stuff. And so oh gosh, there's a bit of, no wonder that didn't want to go on for a bunch of sprue bits here. There we go. I just checked. Imperial to agents can use Imperial vehicles like that. Yeah, I knew that one. Chimera, Rhino, Immoliators, but they're not tanks. They're just APCs. Compared to things like the Predator, the Lehman Russ, the Land Raider, the Repulsors, Outpulsors Executioners, the Onager Drone Caller, the whatever, the Scorpus Disintegrate, whatever it is. But they just don't really stand a chance, to be quite frank. Does it stand for armored? No. APC is Armored Personnel Carrier. Kind of reminds me of a Rocket Devastator and Helldivers 2. Ooh. So, Armored Personnel Carriers. That's they described. For armored, they carry personnel. Usually, Armored Personnel Carriers aren't actually that well armored, like compared to a tank. So they're a lot more fragile, and the same goes for 40k. The armored personnel carriers can have quite a bit of firepower on, but usually, like in real life, they usually just have, technically for armored personnel carriers, they're either armored fighting vehicles or infantry fighting vehicles. And they usually have an autocannon turret, some sorts of like heavy machine gun, maybe pintle mounted, or what do they call it? Coaxial. And sometimes they'll have like hunt-to-killer missiles on them equivalent, so just missiles that hunt and kill tanks. So it can be pretty useful, like the Bradleys are extremely versatile things. Chimera is similar, it's extremely versatile. They can have heavy bolters, heavy stubbers, heavy flamers, multi-lasers. Multi-laser kind of sucks. But they don't have like... I think they can have a single hunt-to-killer missile on them. But generally they're not doing much to like hurt other tanks and vehicles in Warhammer 40k. And they're not doing much to not get hit by those vehicles. There we go. And like the Rhino kind of sucks, to be honest. The Chaos Rhino's not too bad because it has a Havoc launcher, meaning it actually has quite a bit more utility compared to the standard Rhino. Havoc launcher plus combi bolter or combi weapon. Pretty nice. Why did the chicken cross the road? To smite the heretics and Xenos. Rock! Hello, Lahusat. Don't some of them have ATDMs, anti-tank guided missiles? Yeah, that's what I meant by hunt to killers. Using 40k lingo for that one. Yeah, a lot of them do, and they're very, very reliable. They're not only just anti-tank ones, and they're not necessarily guided either. They're called smart missile systems. A lot of them are fire and forget. So basically, you know a tank is a certain distance away. You just fire it towards roughly where the tank is, and it will just hunt down the tank and kill it. A lot of them will have more basic ones of the same type of ones that you'll often see with infantry, whether it's a disposable missile launcher, like the Javelin. Some of them do have things like tow missiles, so they're like guided missiles, often wire. But yeah, what are we doing? Hi, Afik Danielle. We are making Space Marine Terminators for the Black Templars. We're on a project to build 102 of them. I've already got, of this pile of 102, we have currently done, with this guy's a 24. Yeah. Oh, to meet his family at KFC. No, the poor chicken. I forgot to give him the little front to his things. He's got skinny legs now. Okay, I think it's 45 that we want. And 48. There we go. Once the Terminators are built, they'll be fine. No, we won't be feeding them to Tyranids. They're happy little Terminators, so we're going to beat up Tyranids. Yeah. Before I started this project, I already had 27 Terminators. So at the end, we're going to have 129. And then we're going to paint them all. In probably batches of 10, I imagine. Or maybe like 11 and 12, one squad at a time. But they're hungry. But we can give them KFC. I'm pretty sure chickens love, not chickens, Tyranids love KFC. Now you confused me. Chickens love KFC. Actually, you could probably feed KFC to chickens and we'll probably eat it. They'll eat anything. Like even relatively well kept ones. That being said, a lot of terminators, the chickens that will just eat and devour anything you throw at them, aren't always the most well kept, because it's hard to keep chickens. Easy to make mistakes. And you can give all the chickens the nutrients that they're meant to have, and they might just refuse to eat it. Because they're just like that. Well, they won't refuse to eat it. They might just still do a bunch of the other stuff that they're not meant to. There you go. Fruits! Yeah, maybe fruits are based on chickens. Like, one of the people kept chickens. They're like, oh my gosh, these chickens, they'll eat one another. They'll eat their young. They'll eat their own eggs. No, chickens usually it's when they're stressed and stuff and they start doing that. And because they're like a prey animal, it's very easy for them to get stressed. And for them to have issues and stuff. And so for a lot of people. And then the thing is, it's like once that stress disappears or whatever, once they start doing something bad, they'll just basically keep doing it. They won't stop once they've started. It's kind of sad. And you have to then keep those chickens away from the other chickens. Fruits do look like spicy chicken people. Yeet. Because they can be a bad influence. Like once you've got a chicken that's badly behaved like that, it like eats the eggs and stuff. It basically teaches the other chickens to do the same. Or at least they might copy it. So then you have to like separate it from the others. Don't ask me why I know lots of chicken facts. I had no intention of raising chickens, but I decided to watch a massive set of YouTube videos a while ago about it. About like these chicken farmers and stuff. It's like, oh. Actually, I was mildly interested because my grandparents used to keep chickens. Geese make better pets. Geese are... I believe that there's a lot of... What do they do? People keep geese to scare away foxes and stuff. From, like, if you keep other poultry... Keeping a goose is a good way of like protecting them as like a guard dog. And they're very unlikely to attack you other birds and stuff. That's what I've heard. I've never actually seen it, so I could be very wrong here. We're gonna cut this little nubbin off. So I can just stick it on without worrying about the nubbin. Geese do, a cat and a dog's job at the same time, yeah. Apparently, if you've got like a proper crop farm and you want to keep pest control, so like slugs and stuff like that and all the insects that damage your crops, and you like maybe want to have a side thing of like earning money by selling eggs and stuff, ducks are great. They're relatively easy to keep, our ducks. They'll breed very quickly. Geese are very friendly around ducks, so you can protect them with geese. And they're very good at pest control without eating the seeds. Or like eating your crops and stuff like that. Or so I've heard. Depends what crops you've got, I suppose. But yeah, for one of the best things for like if you're multi-discipline farmer. Some pheasants use geese instead of dogs because you can't bribe geese. You can bribe geese. You just have to know what to bribe them with. Usually people's souls. You just have to collect a few skulls, collect a few souls, make a pact with the devil, and you can now bribe geese. That's the only thing they want. Souls and skulls. That'll be actually hilarious. Just to have like the favourite animal of Corn is a goose. You'd think it would be a bull or something, or some sort of predatory animal. Goose. The goose. The honking will happen. You can't bribe them with cupcakes. No, you can't bribe them with cupcakes. No, cupcakes are friends, not bribes. Oh gosh. Don't forget to like the stream, by the way. Every like on this stream is another goose that will join Corn. Collecting skulls. Oh, that looks cool. Yeah. Now, if only I can just replicate what I just did there. Oh gosh. But yeah. Oh no, I dropped this. Oh, I'm thinking. I know that my schedule says I shouldn't be building terminators on the Saturday. Would you mind though if we don't build terminators, but we build some Necrons? Because I've got the canoptic models and I'm looking forward to building them. Do you know if the new... I think it's called the Canoptic Circle. Because I forgot that arrived. I actually don't think it arrived when I made my schedule. Look at all the purity seals. He's so pure. He's just a pure little baby. Don't bully my Terminator. See... Black Templars, but everyone says Black Templars are hate-filled and so on. I just say for pure little babies. You know, because of all their purity seals. They wouldn't hurt a fly. Unless that fly was a Xenos heretic or psycho. In which case it deserved it. No, it didn't. Oh, gosh. I do hope the gifts for... Look at this tiny little bug he's got. Oh, it's adorable. I imagine he just like flicks through it and he's just got like little Oh, that'll be adorable. Imagine like he had a little friend who had a notebook. And the little friend died and they're like, oh, and they kept the notebook on the person. Like a little pious child had this book, like their own little Bible or whatever, you know, children's Bible equivalent. And he now carries it around. Oh no, my Black Templar just became wholesome. No! The kill team. Yeah, I got the kill team one. arcs and their emotional support squigs. Oh, emotional support squigs. Squigs are squiggly beasts are the best. If you don't know, squig is short for squiggly beast. That's canon. What did I just knock over? Oh, it was just him. Where did his face go? I knocked things over, but it's fine. It's fine. It definitely is. These guys. Oh, Canoptic Kill Team. I'm so excited for them. Canoptic Circle. I've been sleeping on orcs. They has the most model variety. They've got a lot of model variety, but the sad thing at the moment is they used to be like the big faction where they could customize everything really easily. And they even had rules for like looting other vehicles and stuff and looting enemy weapons. But then the current model range that they've got, like the newer models they have, most of them, not all of them, are kind of really terrible for converting and kit bashing and making them look unique, and it feels very unorky. They're cool models, but once you've built one set of them, you've built... Building something that looks a bit different on your second one is a lot harder. But yeah, these guys are cool. Super excited to get to build them. I like the tomb crawlers. I like these things. I just like the idea of having more canoptic units, or like especially ones that just take up the role of the basic infantry. Okay, little relics. Ooh, little relic there. I like that relic. I'm gonna put this relic on you. Maybe here. Yeah, that's good. I'm playing Mechanicus right now, and I hate those death marks. Death marks... The weakness of the death marks is that they can't see your invisible unit. So once you can get things, your unit's invisible, just have one of them focus on killing the death mark immediately. They're very, very fragile, so it's generally not that hard to kill them in 1 or 2 shots. But early game, yeah, before you get a feel for stuff, they're very difficult to deal with. Maybe do a vote for Terminators or Necrons? Yeah, we could do. And I can always just build for Necrons off stream, but I thought it might be fun to show you guys. How do I do this? Plus. Start a poll. Saturday Terminators or Necrons? More Terminators! Except the unliving overlords. There we go. There we go. It's a little poll. We can keep that going. There we go. Yeet. Okay, do you think he's pure enough? Oh no, I want to put this thing on him. Yeet from the Horus Heresy. Really, you meant to have 2 on a model? You meant to have 2 on a model? Oh gosh, okay. Hold him here. You. Stop bouncing around everywhere. Where did it go? Where'd he go? You don't hide from me. I know you fell over here. Oh no, where did he fall to? He's hiding. Oh no. I felt it bounce off my hand, but it bounced somewhere else. I don't see it on the floor anywhere. Ugh. Okay, whatever. Maybe that's just a sign that we shouldn't be using that piece for him. I feel like he needs a purity seal on his fist or his stormbolter. Maybe both. Like, a Templar wouldn't be fighting without a weapon that was pure. There we go. Oh. Look at that. That's so cool. So many purity seals. So little time. Okay, don't want a super long purity seal because it's just going to snap off. Like if it's on the hand. Oh, that seems relatively good. I feel like I should get some of... Do you know that blue stuff where you can make molds of it? I want to do that for... Do you know the little Templar cross vehicle symbols you can have? I like them. Oh, no, 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 no. That was way too much super glue. Maybe I can put another one on. Oh gosh, it's sticking to me now. The issue when you put too much on, it doesn't want to stick. When it gets everywhere, I knew I should have wiped some of this off. There we go. Okay, that's good enough. One more Terminator. Yeah, I definitely like the new Assault Marines, not Assault Marines, Assault Terminators over this Terminator. That never used blue stuff. Me neither. But apparently it's something you heat up like in the microwave with a bit of water. You then take it out and you can like just put a piece into it and to make a mold of it. And that will be good for purity seals because what I'd imagine you do is you put green stuff into it, wait for the green stuff to partly dry. Then once it's mostly dried but still a bit flexible, you take it out and then you can just mold it to whatever surface you want to. I'm thinking about doing that. Especially for Templar cross, because I want to put the Templar cross, which is a Maltese cross, by the way, on like other models and like on shoulder pads and stuff. But it's currently hard to. If you want to know, the Maltese cross was a cross used by the Knights Hospitaller. Pretty fun. Also, there's a chapter called the Hospitaller chapter, which had one of their dreadnoughts stolen by some traitor Iron Hands. Yes, Iron Hands, not Iron Warriors. The Knights Hospitaller, they're like the Black Templars, but they're white armor with red crosses. And what do? Pretty cool. Oh yeah, they guard. They don't go on crusades, but they instead guard holy pilgrimage sites. Well, not sites, but do you know, for pathways? To make sure that they're free of chaos and raiders and pirates and stuff. So pilgrims can get to go on their holy pilgrimage. I think that's a pretty cool background for like a chapter. No, That's not the piece I want. Where's the piece I want? That's 9. That's 14. 75. There we go. So that should be all the pieces. Yep. I think if you want to play them, you just use Black Templar models. And you just paint everything white and red. They pretty much very similar in a lot of ways. They don't really care about the Codex Astartes that much. And they believe the Emperor's a god, just like the Black Templars do. Most Space Marine chapters don't believe the Emperor's a god. What Necrons do you have? This is the new kill team. These guys. So if we turn this light off. Tomb Crawlers, which are pretty cool. These spindly boys and that thing. It's called a Canoptic Circle. They're pretty cool. The ones I've been looking forward to for a while. Stop doing side quests and build your 102 suns. I am building them. But I got some little metal boys who also want building. And I bought them before I bought the Terminator. No, I've been waiting for them longer than I've had this idea to build 102 Terminators. I've just been waiting for them to go on sale. I don't hate them. I just regret buying them. Actually, I don't. I'm very happy about having them. And I kind of regret buying them because I had after getting them, I had a bunch of costs that come up that were very hefty. So I'm just having to make sure to watch my monies at the moment. The YouTube viewership issues do not help that. But now I'm just saying stuff. What am I doing? We're building Terminators. Oh, there we go. Look at him. It's cool. We got 3 of these dudes done so far. And they're each looking pretty cool. I like them. Yeah. Oh. I'm thinking for names of like the Crusade of a chapter, something like Crusade of the Forgotten Martyrs, of the Unremembered Martyrs, or something like that. And they're very similar to the Black Templars, but instead like turn around the entire thing into being kind of good people. Conjuror starving because she doesn't get her monthly 20 cents of YouTube. No, actually it's a lot more than that. Like, it's 4 times as much per stream, usually. It actually adds up quite quickly. Allows me to put the funding and support into my streams to try and make them good. And into the Warhammer. Yeah, it's crazy per stream. Per stream. Now, it does add up when you're streaming like 6 times a week. It's like, what? Actually, some of them are way more than that. Really depends. the more money they generate in Uganda, but less than Liverpool. Liverpool steals that much every single day. If you're hungry, eat Talan. Here's a cupcake. No, don't eat Talan! What do you do with the spare optional parts in the set? Box. Bits box. I've got 3 bits boxes. One for Xenos. One for Imperial and Chaos bits. And then I've got my assorted bit. Oh yeah, and then one for Fantasy and Age of Sigmar stuff. Then I've got my bags of assorted bits. You're a cupcake, Talan. Don't deny your cupcakiness. You can be a cupcake rat if you want to be. But you're a cupcake. We got the Chaos Terminators. Yeah, oh, I've got a bunch of Chaos Terminators. I've got 5 of them. In fact, technically I have more. Do you want to see my Chaos Terminators? I'll get them out. Just give me a few seconds. There we go. I'm back. There we go. The Chaos Nurgle Night Lord Terminators. The Night Lords of Mark of Nurgle. So that's the Lord. Standing on some rotten cheese. But he's not a Lord, he's actually a Chaos Sorcerer of Nurgle. Yeah. But he's kind of meant to be like the Lord of a Warband. And that's the leader of the Terminator squad. He counts as being armed with a chain fist. Don't worry about it. Then you've got the Auto Cannon Dude. Cupcake Marines, paint from green and magenta like your VTuber models and confuse other people why they ask, why are you painting loyalist Death Guard colours? I mean, actually, if I wanted to paint my models like one of the Crusade, the Knightly Orders, the Order of Lazarus, they've got the Maltese cross, but it's green. And I imagine they'd have, like, if you had the Lazarus. Beep, 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 boop, 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 blip, bop, boop, boop, beep. Yeah, 1 million. 1 million. How many unpainted models do you have? Yeah. I've got lots. I've got like 3,000 points of Chaos Space Marines that aren't even undercoated yet. And then here's just the normal Terminators. Yeah. By the way, Chaos Terminators, way smaller than Marine Terminators. Chimeras. Don't worry about it. They're really cool. Yeah, they are. I really had fun building the Chaos Terminators. Because that's back when I was like, I don't know what Chaos Army to build. Because I was getting, I've been getting the Combat Patrol magazine, because I'm subscribed. I was like, I don't know what to do. And then I was like, you know what? Maybe I could do cults. And then I decided to go for Night Lord cults. Because I'm like, I want to build Night Lords, but I also want Nurgle stuff. And I also want Sinch stuff. And I want Slaanesh stuff. And I want Khorne stuff. So now I've just got an army that's Night Lords, but the Night Lords that fell to Chaos and became all the, you know, the gods. Fell to the gods, now worship them, and, well, some of them worship the gods, some of them are only using the gods to gain power. It's not the other way around. Definitely not. 67, 69, 68. There we go. Haha, funny number, 69. Unfortunately, I'm not too fond of Space Marines and Chaos Space Marines. That's fair. I've also got a bunch of Eldar. My Eldar are Corsairs, who are Space Marine, not Space Marine Hunters, Tyranid Hunter Corsairs. And they're from Dark Eldar, normal Eldar, Exodites and stuff who have all suffered at the hands of Tyranids and are now just like grouped together to hunt them down. And they don't really care who gets in the way or who they have to work with to kill the Tyranids. As long as they're killing Tyranids, that's all they care about. It's shooting up at something. Pew, 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 pew. Could you? You don't like Chainsaw Man? Who doesn't like Chainsaw Man, sir? So-called Tyranid Space Pirates. No, Tyranid Hunting Space Pirates. I've also got 4,000 points of Tyranids, well, close to. Some of them are painted. There's nothing really too special about them, to be honest. The most special one is my Neuro dude who are converted. Neurolictor, that's the one. This dude. Yeah. I like that one. It's pretty cool. Oh. I'm over here now. Oh, gosh. I was gonna show you my, what's it called? My Eldar, but then I realised they're upstairs. They're in the attic. So I can't show you them. We've got all the arcs as well. Still can't wait for the camo and leopard print lictor. Maybe one day. Maybe one day. Got a lot of projects to paint. There we go. Big old shield. Gosh darn it, I'm messing this up. Oh gosh. There you go. Pain. Shield! Yeah! I will remind you until you stop streaming. Never gonna happen. Never gonna stop streaming. We're gonna stream forever. Okay, I need the little cape. Now we got like a couple of those capes already. Different cape. Different cape. That's the exact same cape. Okay, different cape. That's the exact same cape. Okay, different cape. That's the exact same cape. Okay, different cape. That's a different cape. Yay! Why did I pull 4 of the same one? These are not like... They arrived unsorted. Well, I say for unsorted. For like 5 of each cape in these little baggies. And then I poured each baggie into the big baggie. And they kind of just sorted themselves out into the same piles together. Which is funny. I need dual power fist terminators. Unfortunately, none of the terminators have a right-handed power fist. They can't, I mean, this guy is the closest with his lightning claws. I do like how I had to cut off one of his ears so his head could fit. Oh. But yeah, because unfortunately none of the what's that thing? Oh, that goes on the back of a backpack. Okay. You got the aggressors. The aggressors are the closest thing to a dual power fist terminator. Because they're Graphis Marines. Like this dude. He has 2 power fists. And he has like these little bolt pistol things. Machine guns on his fists. And these grenade launchers. Oh, they can absolutely rip things to pieces. They just absolutely destroy things. It's absolutely insane. Like, I played against some World Eaters with them. And they just got out of a truck, shot into some World Eaters, and just absolutely dominated one of the Khan Berserker squads with just a single round of shooting. Then charged through from using a stratagem to charge into Angron, and this dude just wiped out Angron. Like, Angron didn't even get a chance to attack. It's like, yep, you're gone, Angron. Don't worry about... I mean, he's got a big old claw. A big old claw. He's called Alderic, by the way. Alderic. Angry one. He can be as angry as he wants, but he's not going to win. Never have I wanted my scions to fight against an army more in your life. Why do you want to fight them? No! You scions, you're meant to fight with us, not against us. You're the chosen ones. You're meant to fight for darkness, not join it. That's what I mean, my school's stunted. Oh. There you go. Super glue, super glue. Get over here. There we go. No. I'm not a too bright cake. Don't worry about it. I'm not too bright either, at times at least. I mean, cupcakes aren't known for being very brainy, if I'm going to be entirely honest with you. Right, why? This thing doesn't want to stick. It's just like, I've decided I'm not going to stick today. There we go. Maybe now. Yay! I don't know how well my army would do against a more shooty army. I just know how well it does against Tyranids and stuff. And like World Eaters. It's good against armies that already want to be in melee with me. Because I generally focus on being a bit more shooty than what you expect Templars to be. So I can outshoot most melee opponents. But I can still melee with the best of them. Often out melee them still. Because I'm just Black Templars, that's what we do. But never really seen my Templars versus Guardsmen. I imagine we'll struggle a lot more once we start getting shot at. Gotta get a family member to a medical appointment. Goodbye, TA. Good luck with the medical appointment stuff. Hope it goes well for your family member. Oh gosh, there we go. Oh. Oh, dropping pieces. But one thing I don't like about these treble purity seals, it looks like Nurgle symbol, doesn't it? It's meant to be 3 purity seals, but instead we just make Nurgle's symbol. Like, no, we're not worshipping Nurgle. I wonder if accidentally using a Chaos God symbol, like, helps increase the power and influence. Or do you have to, like, actively be using it? Like, knowing what it means? Oh, darn it, the tabard fell off. That's good. Well, we'll use a different tabard. Oh, there we go. Nope, that's the wrong one. Yeah, where is it? It's not really Nurgle's symbol. But it's just, you know, 3. Because it's 3 purity seals next to one another, it makes the 3 circles that forms Nurgle's symbol. 2 of them have skulls and 1 of them has a Black Templar symbol in the middle, though it's very difficult to see on this camera, though. Very difficult to get it to focus on it well enough. I need to also go to like all my old Space Marines that don't have tabards and aren't painted or undercoated and give them tabards. Being worship Nurgle to get extra stuff. No, we're not worshipping Nurgle. We're worshipping the Emperor. No. Where did the purity seal go? I heard it fell on these things. Oh no. Oh, there it is. It's glued to me. Do this. It should hopefully dry. Here we go. Okay, so purity seals, purity seal, purity seal. I've got a little bone here. I've got a bone to pick with you. I worship the Emperor, but the Emperor I mean Sigmar. By the Emperor I mean Karl Franz. No, don't hunt for cupcakes, they're friends, not prey. I put purity seals on my beastmen because they think it can help them control the powers of chaos. Oh, that's cool. I like the idea of law. There's a lot of chaos worshippers. They're not actually chaos worshippers. Like, they're not trying to worship chaos or anything. They're trying to use the powers of chaos. While others are just confused. I kind of want to make a Beastmen, Imperial Beastmen sort of thing. Because they used to have Imperial Beastmen. But that's back before Beastmen were direct result of Chaos corruption. Okay, here they are. He's looking pretty cool. Interns to darkness. Yeah, the intern to darkness count, I guess, for chaos worshippers. And also people just trying to use the powers of chaos. I don't know much about the Age of Sigmar stuff. I know for Norskans, it's like they actually believe in they worship four gods, but they're not called Nurgle, Slanesh, and Khorne, but that's what they are. And a lot of Norskans aren't even aware that they worship chaos gods. And some of them, once they realise exactly what it is that they're worshipping or been worshipping, they're like, oh my goodness, I need to stop this. And some Norskans still worship the old gods. They don't worship, but just use chaos for all four, I remember. Yeah. Well, that's how chaos gets you. It makes you think that you're using them, but really they're using you. Like, that's how my Night Lords ended up getting corrupted. It started with one of them effectively trying to use Sinch, the sorcerer, who was like the most... like the second in command of a warband. He worshipped chaos. Oh, he started working with Sinchian demons, rather. Oh. There we go. That's the piece I want. Yeah, he started working with sentient demons in an effort to increase his power and his influence within the warband. And the aging Chaos Lord, Night Lord, who led the warband, was like, this dude. He wasn't corrupted by Nurgle at the time, but he recognized that the sorcerer was gaining more strength and more power and could make a play for his, you know, throne, effectively, to control the warband. And he was like, yeah, I don't want that happening. But I don't actually have the power and stuff to fight him. Especially since I'm very old now. I've been around since the Horus Heresy. That's what he was thinking. And as a result, he ended up making a pact with a Herald of Nurgle to effectively open his mind for warp. So that he himself could become a sorcerer. But the Nurgle demon attempted to possess the Lord at the same time, but the Lord's mind was too strong and like effectively crushed the Herald of Nurgle and devoured it. And then he gained like the power, and basically he ended up getting blessed by Nurgle as a result. And then the Sentient sorcerer was spreading his like Sentient cult to some of the Night Lords. He started spreading it to Nurgle's worship to his chosen warriors. Yeah, I think 40k are just humans who fall easier to chaos because everyone isolated them and pushed them towards the fringes of society, and unfortunately fringes house chaos. Yeah, I'm not sure if that's actually still the case. I know that was for old law, but I'm not sure if that's the current law for the Felgars and stuff. I have to read up on the Felgars actually. I don't know if they're in the current codex, because I know they were a kill team, or still are a kill team. So I'll have to look them up. To be fair, in Age of Sigmar, they kind of defeat Slaanesh for quite a time, putting them in a jar. I mean, Slaanesh did get beaten up in 40k, like after Slaanesh was spawned. We're like, oh no, Slaanesh is spawned, Slaanesh is super powerful, so the other gods teamed up on Slaanesh and basically to bring them to heal. To restore like the power between them all. So far from what I saw, only had the supplements in the kill team. Oh, so for supplements in the kill team suggest that they are. Okay, that's nice. Because I know for like really old lore for beastmen was that they were once just abhumans in the Imperium. Not related to chaos at all, but then they like started pushing beastmen to more towards being just chaos related. So I was unsure if they were, and I know fantasy they would like direct results of chaos, even though they initially didn't start that way. So that's nice to know we still got what you can. That means we can in theory have Imperial beastmen that worship the Emperor. Oh yeah, that's it. Within the cult though, like within amongst all their prisoners, interns, their servants of my Night Lords, while the Sorcerer and the Chaos Lord were effectively bickering in this power play, they never realised that a Slaaneshi cult had already started forming amongst their mortal followers. I kind of like that idea. That bit by bit, the entire warband just fell to chaos. There's still some who aren't dedicated to any of the Chaos Gods and don't worship the Chaos Gods. But even they make use of demon engines and stuff like that. Yeah. I would love them for them to be part of the ecclesiarchy. I don't think they'd ever be part of the ecclesiarchy just because of how the ecclesiarchy is. But it'll be great to see them like in the Imperial Guardsmen. Like you got the Ogrins, you got the Ratling Gunners. It'll be good to see like other types of abhumans. Like Imperial Agents will be a good reason to use abhumans there, you know, for, what do they call them, for Longshanks or something like that. There's these really tall, lanky, low gravity adapted humans. And I think they're cool. It'll be nice to see them. Where's the other Power Fist? Or did I already use the other Power Fist? Oh, not there it is. Yeah, I'll use this Power Fist. That's cool. 82, 83. Good, good. Gotcha. But think about it. More penitent models. I guess so. I guess that would be cool. Yeah, I want to see Longshanks though for the Imperial Agents. And maybe if they could have like an anti-tank capability. Like they float and fly around the battlefield using these backpacks. And they carry with them like anti-tank rifles and stuff. And things like you'd expect Reacher teams to have. Or maybe not even anti-tank rifles. Maybe they're like equipped with motor mines. Or maybe we see them in 40k and in the Imperial Agents, but rather than being an infantry unit, they like they're in vehicles. Or suits or something. Punch to the face. Punch, punch, punch. Whatever is fist up in the air as is shooting. I do like those fist up in the air as for shooting poses. Oh, it'll be like mimicking the 2nd edition box art. Oh, that would be super cool. Do I have like a gun arm out ready to shoot? No, the only other arm left is this one for the Stormbolter. Well, it's fine. For the Beastmen, I kind of want the Beastmen to be in the Imperial Guardsmen. Like the Felgor team again, but it's just the Imperial version. Maybe without the Psyker. But better equipped. Or maybe even worse equipped. I don't know. Oh, it'd be cool if they reintroduced conscripts. But the conscript models had the ability to build some of them if you wanted to, as like beastmen. Like 3 of the models just you could use beastmen arms and heads on them, and potentially like they had beastmen feet options. Because the entire thing is like, at least you know for mems and stuff, it's all about them being cannon fodder. Oh, and it'd be cool if like the conscript kit also like release a new conscript kit or cannon fodder kit. And it could just have like different types of heads and stuff in it for different types of abhumans. But enough heads and arms to make them all human if you wanted to. Or normal humans, rather. Normal humans just sounds bad to say. That being said, if you were to add them to guardsmen, I'm not necessarily sure that they'll treat the humans that badly for the guardsmen. Because we already have the Ogrins and stuff with them. I don't want that one. I don't like this one. Okay, there we go. So we're finishing the squad. So this goes here. Not fit on. There we go. Nope. It just fell off straight away again. This glue is not very quick setting. Sadly. Not with these plastic and resin pieces anyway. What I love and hate about these shoulder pads, where they effectively just use these 3 little prongs to hold the shoulder pad, it gives them a lot more functionality to put the shoulder pad on in different positions and it feel right. But it just means that you got less connection with the piece. And it's as a result easier to fall off and break. If they're cool, they'll give Beastmen last pistols and make them a squishy, high healthish skirmisher squad. In 40k, I doubt they'll give them more than 1 wound. Maybe they'll make them toughness 4, which would give them a lot more utility than normal guardsmen, because most guardsmen don't really go past toughness 3, unless it's a vehicle. And they could potentially have just a naturally 4+ armor save to them, which could help a lot. And then give them a high movement speed, and they'll be relatively decent. Even if you built all 102, yeah, there's still a job of painting them, I know. That's a big old job. But we'll do it. Once they're all painted, I'll just go straight into... I'll have to find a chance to undercoat them all, but... And before I get there, I do want to start painting my other models that I've undercoated, just to make sure that the undercoat I'm giving them is going to be correct. And it's going to work the way I want it to. There's not enough purity seals of a Terminator kit. But the assault Terminators have loads of purity seals and relics and stuff, and I like that. These ones, though, not so much. Okay, now get a cape. They're not going to be the easiest to paint either, though, just because of the way they are. There you go. Oh gosh, this doesn't want to get on. Oh no, the shoulder pad's stuck now, and there we go. I should have put the cape on before the shoulder pad. Okay, what's getting notifications? Just let's make sure they're not too important. No. Parcels being dispatched. Okay, yeah. That's fine. You just know... Oh, I want to put little candles on his head. That would be cool. Little candle. Or candle. I'm just being a baby because I want to use the Felgar models for guard, but there's no compatible models. So for Ace, what you're going to have to do is look up what bases the Felgar use and look up what bases some of the other guardsmen use. Switch your Felgar to the bases. And what I'd do is I'd either use them as Katachan and just convert them to hold flamethrowers and stuff. Death Corps of Krieg. The thing is whatever you choose to use them as, you don't want to have another one in the army. So if you have Scions, you don't want to use them as Scions, use them as Kasrikin instead. If you have... Well, Katachan would be... The Katachan guys of a Death Corps of Krieg would be relatively decent. Because... And then what you do is you build one of the models. You either put a priest in the unit to make them better at melee, because I think the priest gives them some bonus in melee. I can't remember what it is. And the priest isn't bad in melee themselves. And the Katachan and get like, is it +1 attack or +1 to hit or something on the turn, the first turn of combat? And the Death Corps of Krieg are relatively good because they get +1/+1. Well, +1 to hit if they are below full strength, and +1 to wound if they're below half strength. Alternatively, Krieg combat engineers, because Krieg combat engineers can be armed with a trench club. Then you can make one of the Felgars, your Psychic Felgar, put them into the squad as a Psyker. Actually, I don't know if the Psykers can join the Krieg Combat Engineers. I imagine they can. But yeah, you can use your Felgar Psyker as just, you know, Primaris Psychers, I think it's called. It will require conversions and stuff, but there are different ways to add them in. And the... I'd personally say the... Combat engineers aren't too bad, because the combat engineers are tougher because they got a 4+ armor save. They've got combat weapons, the trench clubs. They've got pistols. What else do they do? I don't know. I mean, they got the explosive mine thing. And you could just have a... Oh, instead of having an explosive mine token, you could put like a bunch of grenade belts and stuff all over one of your Felgars and use that as your mine token. You know, instead of having this little robot that goes under and explodes, you just got this Felgar who runs at the tanks of the enemy squads and explodes. Oh, that would be a really cool conversion. I don't know if you could get away with it for, you know, tournaments, but you could definitely play that in... standard games, as long as you just make it clear what they're meant to be used as. The other thing is, what else is there? Yeah, they don't really have many other good units, unless you want to use centaurs. Yeah, steal some of the Beastmen Centaur models from Fantasy and use them as Rough Riders. Oh yeah, the other thing that makes them relatively similar to Felgar, the combat engineers, is that I think they have Scout 6 inches. So it represents them being like more of an infiltrator style unit, just like the Felgars are. But that also means if you put them in a Taurox or a Chimera, they, the Taurox and Chimera can get the 6-inch scout move as well. Tauroxes are ridiculously fast currently for the Guardsmen. Promote her to Sergeant. Hey, I'm already Captain. I'm already a Grand Admiral. I'm already a Lord Solar Proxy. Why do I have a random jump pack in here? No, backpack, sorry. Ooh, a little lantern. want a little relic? There we go. Nice little stuff. I could put like a little shield on them. That would be fun. You want a little shield? You want a little shield here? Oh yeah, you do. You do want a little shield there. Why am I speaking to the Terminator like it's a cat? Oh no, I'm dropping for pieces. There we go. Yeah! Okay, where do I want to put the lantern? I'll just put it like under the shoulder pad. Yeah, I like putting the lanterns under the shoulder pad because otherwise it's hard to get from like a good connection to the model. I'm very liable to snap off. There you go. Yeah. But then we can put like the little relic. We can put it on the back if we wanted to, actually. We're not putting any of these relic stuff on the back of the models. Well, here we go. We can put that there. Yeah. When it comes to, generally, the rule that Games Workshop doesn't really talk about too much anymore. They still talk about it, mind you, every so often. But one of the big things is if you have a cool idea for how you want to use some of the models, if they're just Games Workshop models, just convert it. You want to use Felgars and Guardsmen, just go ahead and do that. Just figure out something in the Guardsmen that they could potentially be used as. And just convert it up. Just make sure that whenever you're doing this, it's very clear what they're meant to be. That you're very clear to your opponent what they're meant to be. And that you don't have other models doing the same being the same unit, but are completely different. So if you've got the Felgar being combat engineers, don't then get a combat engineer squad. I mean, you can if you want to, but it can cause a bit of confusion. The thing is that the big thing you want to avoid is saying, hey, these Felgar are combat engineers. These Felgar over here, they're not combat engineers, they're something else. Unless they're like very, very clearly equipped and customized to be two different units. Like if the entire army is made of Felgar, that's fine to do something like that. It's just, you just want to avoid confusing your opponent. So it's like if you are making Felgar combat engineers, then you do want to have the token look like a proper combat engineer token. You don't want to just use a random thing as the token. Because the token is one of the big things that helps point it out that these aren't just Death Corps of Krieg. They are combat engineers. In casual play, most people won't have a problem with it. In tournament play, if all you're using is Games Workshop plastic, honestly, you can actually get away with it in tournaments. Just make sure you talk to a tournament advisor beforehand. Like, just email them or whatever. Only issue I can think of, Felgar are huge, like 32mm, and Guards are like 25mm. The model difference in size doesn't really matter. The main problem you're going to have, and this isn't really a problem in terms of your opponent accepting them, is that your model is too big. And that's a disadvantage to you. Your model being bigger than what the other models are. But as long as you put them with the correct base size. Combat engineers, I believe, on 28.5mm bases. I might be wrong. So what you want to do is just get some 28.5mm bases and put your Felgar on those 28.5mm bases. If a 25 and just put them on 25, it might take some converting and stuff to get them onto a 25mm base. Let's go to a website. Let's go to a website and check this. Oh, the Grotmas calendar. A month's worth of festive goodies of this year's Grotmas calendar. Oh. A newly promoted... Oh, there's something to do with Titus. He's got some serious no peeping. This year's calendar is shaking up the formula by stuffing a wide selection of different treats behind each door for Red Gobble's workshop. From new game rules and painting guides to unreleased Warhammer fiction, and as always, a special reveal on Grotmas Day. Oh, that's cool. Ray Ford ships overrun with Tyranids in next free update for Space Marine 2. Ooh, maybe I would play Space Marine 2 again then. Oh, that looks cool. Oh, look, Sanguinian Guard. But let's look at the base sizes, because if you want to know what the base sizes of models are, you can go through Warpedia, but generally one of the more reliable ways, well, it's not always that reliable, is go to here, Astra Militarum, scroll down to Sold Out Online, Tempestus Science. I have Combat Engineer, so I should know what base size they're on, but I forget often. Oh no, they are 25mm. What's on 28.5mm? Because I swear some of them are 28.5. Maybe it's the command squads. Oh, I think it's the Cadian command squad. Yeah, I forgot what. So you want a 40mm round base for your explodey one. Although that's not too important because the base size doesn't really matter for the token. But you want to put them onto 25mm bases. The Death Corps don't have a kill team anymore. They're just normal Death Corps. Yeah, for this thing, I think that's a 32mm base. The rest are 25. Yeah, one 32mm base and the rest are 25. These things are... Yeah, I don't know why the Death Corps are Krieger on smaller bases. Are these 25mm? Yeah, they're 25mm. I swear the Cadian Command Squad's on larger bases. Yeah, here we go. Cadian Command Squad. Yeah, 25, 28.5, yeah. That's why I thought we're on larger, because I actually was planning to like do a bunch of conversions for this squad, but I was going by the size of these bases and thought they'd be able to fit, but no. Casvikin, what size bases are they on? Yeah, they're on 28.5mm as well. Yeah, that's one of the reasons why I thought they would be... Because I was pretty certain Casvikin won 28.5. I think these are 25mm, are they? No, 28.5, yeah, 28.5. And the... What about normal Tempestus Science then? Okay, that looks like 25. Yeah, 25mm basis. Yeah, the Death Corps are battle line. And they're, I believe, 25. Maybe they are larger than 25mm, but I thought they were 25. Yeah, for 25mm bases or Death Corps or Krieg. Conjuror can best guess for base size by looks alone. I mean, that's pretty easy. These guys are 40mm bases. No, for 50mm. Darn it! I think normal weapon teams are like, what is that? 80mm? No. Is it like, I think for Dreadnought size or 60mm? Oh no, 60mm. Oh yeah, because old Sentinels are 60mm bases. Dreadnoughts are 80mm bases, like for old box knots rather. These ones are 80mm, aren't they? 100mm. Oh. Oh yeah, because they're super large. I struggle starving them. That's one of the things that have stopped me building loads of guardsmen, because I have lots of artillery. It's like, where am I going to put all this artillery with these massive bases and for heavy weapon teams? But Eye Doctor says her sight's getting worse, but if she uses Citadel bases instead of letters, she would have 20/20 vision. No, my look at guessing. No, these guys are 60mm. Surprisingly. Oh no, for 80mm. No, it's a Killer Cans and Death Dreads that are 60mm. Old Sentinels were also 60mm. Because all my old Sentinels I could turn into Killer Cans without any difficulty. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know base sizes based on looks. I just know based on experience. And if I don't have that, like, I've never had one of these guys. But yeah, if I wanted to get one of them, it's... Yeah, I have to put my old Sentinels on larger bases. Captain and Priest combo is so crazy. It is. Captain and Death Corps of Krieg and Priest is pretty good. I can't remember what the Priest actually does. Give me a moment. Don't forget to like the stream, everybody. New recruit. I'll go over to here. Go down to... the entrenched ones. Ministratum Peace. There we go. Leader. What units can you lead? Death Corps of Krieg, Krieg Combat Engineers, yeah. And Kasvikin. Good. Holy Piety. Each time this model makes a melee attack, unless this model's unit is battle shocked, you can reroll to hit. It doesn't make the entire unit reroll to hit, sadly. But it does give your unit sustained hits, which is great. I read that originally when I first was making this as each time this unit makes a melee attack, not this model. It's because it says model's unit over here. Zealot's Vindicator is really good, but that combines really well with both Captain and because this has sustained hits because of this. It's 5 AP 1, damage 2, 3 attacks, hits and 4s. But when you look at Death Corps of Krieg, if it's below strength, add 1 to hit. And if it's below half strength, add 1 to wound. Why use Priest when you can have one with a Flamer? The Ministratum Priest does have a Flamer. It's got the Zealot's Vindicator. So the Ministratum Priest now for the Guardsman can be either the Flamethrower one or the other one. And look, it's got the Flamethrower, 12-inch range, D6 attacks, auto hit, strength 5, damage 1, AP 0, ignores cover, torrent. It's got the Flamer. Sadly, Priest can't give orders. It'll be really cool if we can get a detachment one day that gives Priest the ability to give orders. No, I'm not a cat! Priest does sustained hits and captured and get +1 to wound. Yeah. Where's the Captain again? It's only on the first round of combat though, isn't it? Yeah, on the first round of combat, so on the turn a charge is made, either by them or the opponent, they add 1 to a wound roll. Which isn't too bad. But I do prefer Death Corps of Krieg, because they can get the melter guns. They can get the add 1 to hit, add 1 to wound, but they also get the... Both of them have a Foxcaster, but Death Corps get a medic pack. So each turn, they can return up to D3 +1 destroyed models. And that's really cool. At the same time, you can put them in with a Krieg Command Squad, and the Krieg Command Squad is insane because it gets them 2 Power Fists, is it? No, can they get Power Fists? No, they can get Power Weapon. Yeah, Power Fist. And then you get your Power Weapons as well. Because of your Commissar that automatically comes in the squad. Then they can get Feel No Pain 6+ against mortal wounds, which is pretty nice. Then you got the add 1 to the objective stuff. That comes in the Death Corps of Krieg, Death Corps of Krieg, Medic Pack, Boxcaster. And it can still... While this unit contains an officer, you can target this unit with a stratagem, even while its battle shocks and orders issued to the unit do not cease to affect this unit if it becomes battle shock. Yeah, that's really cool. I really like that ability. So when you combine that with a priest and Death Corps of Krieg, you're getting +1 to hit, you're getting sustained hits. If you take a bunch of casualties, you get +1 to wound. And that works really well with your extra Power Fists and Power Weapons. You get a bunch of flamers, plasma guns, melter guns. And you're constantly recovering Kriegsmen that die with your Medic Pack. It's just really powerful combo compared to using Catachan. Although Catachan are cheap in squads of 20, I believe. And they do get scouts, which is nice. Catachan, by the way, used to only have a 6+ armor save. So... Cadians are a bit weird. Cadians you don't really want to use in full squads of 20. For better in squads of 10, or especially in Chimeras and Torvoxes. The main reason being is that where the Krieg and the Catachan get a whole load of bonuses in melee and stuff, and can, as a result, be like dangerous teams. The Cadians, you don't really use them to cause damage. And they're not really meant to be a threat to your enemy. The main thing you do is use them for the sticky objectives. You basically put them onto an objective, capture the objective, blast off a few shots, and then just run them away from it. As long as you just keep doing that over and over in a cycle, you've pretty much won the game. They don't need orders where they're going. I mean, it's true. Although, what does the order for bayonets do? Does it increase your weapon skill? I think it does. Does it show here what the orders are? Voice of command. Fix bayonets. Yeah, improve your weapon skill. So that means you're hitting on 3s with them. And then you get +1 to hit because you're probably going to be below strength. So then you're hitting on 2s. If you do fix bayonets with your +1 to hit with your Kriegsman, it's absolutely insane. You're hitting on 2s. You're getting sustained hits. Oh. And gosh, you got your priests inside the units as well. You're getting, these guys are hitting on 2s if they're strength 5 damage 2 weapon. And they're also re-rolling to hit with it, sorry. Oh, I don't know. I just love priests in blobs of guardsmen. You're like, that blob of guardsmen. I can take that blobs of guardsmen. Yeah, Death Corps of Krieg basically get... If you want to just have a blob of infantry that is very hard to get rid of and is actually capable of being a threat to your enemy, Death Corps of Krieg are very good at that. But the main thing is like a squad of 20 is 145 points. A squad of Catachan, on the other hand, a full squad is... Here we go. 120 points. You save 25 points doing it. The things you lose out on is you don't get your cool med pack. You can have a Foxcaster. And you can have flamethrowers. You can't get plasma guns, you can't get melter guns, you can't get grenade launchers with a catachin. All you get is flamethrowers. And that's it. Now, if I look at the catachin command squad, there's only 5 members in the squad. And their rules are, they got gung-ho command, so all ranged weapons have assault. So that means you can, it makes your units faster, so you can advance and shoot. Which is fine, but what else can we do? If we say add a Krieg command squad to it, Catachin, sorry. You can have a power fist, you can have a plasma pistol, you can have a master fox, a medic pack, and a regimental standard. Yeah, you can get one special weapon at the same time with all of that. So melter gun or whatever. Oh, the heavy flamer. You got the heavy flamer, that's really cool. There we go. But now what do we do? You're back. Hi, Longstocks. If I want worst points, so I save money. If you want worst points, so you save money, you definitely want to go for Death Corps or Krieg, because they're the most expensive one. In squads of 20. In fact, it's more expensive to have a single squad of 20 Kriegsmen than it is to have 2 squads of 10. Well, a squad of 20 is just better. Okay, each time the officer of the bearish unit issues an order, it can issue up to 24 inches away. So here we go. The medic pack, the firm can return up to D3 destroyed platoon models, excluding characters. So you can actually still recover your own models as well with your, if you had a command squad into the catachans, because you get the medic pack. And the catachan command squad is cheaper points wise. Oh, what is a Krieg backpack? Death Corps a Krieg med pack. Oh yeah, they can return up to D3+1, and because you can have 2 back medics in the unit, it means that if you lose one of the medics for whatever reason, you can still got another one. But the main thing with them is that they can't restore any of your command squad back. Not that if there's any reason you'd lose your command squad within the squad, you can always just take out other models instead, as far as I'm aware. But yeah, if you want to save the most money, I think Kasvikin might be the best one to go for. Because you definitely don't want to go for Rough Riders, because Rough Riders are really cheap points-wise and really expensive money-wise. Kasvikin, though, £42.50 for a squad of 10. Tempestus Aquilians, £42.50 for a squad of 10. Compare that for £32.50 for a squad of 10 there. But your Kasvikin are... How expensive are Kasvikin points-wise? 110 points for 10. Compared to 65 points for 10 for the others. Tempestus Aquilians are 100 points. Oh, they've gone down 10 points. 100 points for 10 of them. Tempestus Science are 50 points for 70 points for 5 of them. But they're quite expensive models money-wise. They're £29.50, so they're almost as much as a squad of 10. Oh, Kill Team Ratlings. How expensive are Ratlings? 60 points. Oh gosh, they're not going to be the best for saving money. Heavy weapon teams are probably relatively decent. Artillery teams as well. The real kicker is probably going for things like the Rogo Dawn, which is, where is the Rogo Dawn? It's down here somewhere. 250 points. Or if you go for the Rogo Dawn tank commanders, they are 275 points. 235 points for a Lehman Russ tank commander. And your Lehman Russ is £42.50. Your Rogo Dawn £63.25. So yeah, if you want to save the most money, it looks like going for Lehman Russes is probably your best bang for buck out of all of them. And the league going for a full Lehman Russ army is also not terrible. In fact, it's pretty powerful in 10th edition as far as I'm aware. I'm running Bridgehead for reroll 1s and for shooting. Oh, that's cool. But either way, I've been spending too much time on the website, so thank you for coming to the stream. Big love hearts to you. These are the guys who built today. He's pointing at you. He wants you to join the Black Templars today. Look how cool he can be. Da, 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 da. You can get rocket launchers, chain fists, power fists, storm bolters, purity seals, capes, cool little shoulder pads. And this is what the full squad looks like. There's the commander of the squad. He's pretty cool. He's got a little thing on top of his head. You got this dude who just wants to shake your hand really violently. You got the pointing guy who I kind of want to like do a thing where I cut one of these missiles out and then I get a bit of a wire with like some foam on it or something to be like a smoke trail, and then at the end of it is a rocket like going in the direction he's pointing. That'll be a lot of work, but I don't exactly know how to do it. Then you got this guy who's really cool. Oh, look at him. So cool. It's covered in glue. I mean, this guy's just stomping forward. He's just stompy, 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 stomp. And it's a full squad of 10. And they've got a little thing go boom. Homing beacon. You love the boys. The boys are back in town. Also, statue. Next to this statue would be absolutely huge. And then it's next to a Space Marine Terminator. It looks tiny. Like, where's my little dude? I like using this guy for size comparison. He's way bigger than a human. Put that on for base. And the statue's way bigger than him. But then next to the Terminator, the statue just starts feeling a bit small. But thank you for coming to the stream. Big love hearts to you all. Remember to take care of yourself and be kind to others and vice versa. Work hard but play harder. And also, what do we usually say? Eat good food, sleep well, dream of cupcakes, but don't eat the cupcakes as a friends, not food. Yee! Big love hearts again. Bye bye everyone. Love you all. Wee!